Wednesday we've made it out here. We were coming out here Tuesday and Maggie came down with an ear infection, so we didn't make it out here Tuesday. Didn't make it out here Thursday. So we're just now making it out for the first time. We're not racing this weekend. We've already posted that on Facebook. We've posted that on Patreon, so all of you guys on those platforms already know that. Racing wise, I don't exactly know when the next time we will race is. Brad is thinking the Ice Bowl qualifier in October at Talladega Short Track is what he's thinking maybe his next and final race, because he does plan on running the Ice Bowl. So if you win the Ice Bowl qualifier, you automatically have a starting spot. So that's what we're thinking our next race will be, but we'll kind of play that by ear and see how everything is. But we are definitely not racing this weekend at Mountain View. We just found a couple of issues with the car that need to be addressed before we go racing, and I think we're just gonna start working on another project. We'll let you guys know what that is here shortly. Kind of show you the process of everything, but it's hot in here. Let me get some air turned on.
Alright guys, so I'm not sure what Dallas has said so far. What our plans are, what we're doing or anything, so I'm gonna kind of go over it real quick. I've got this JD squared model 32 bender. It's a JD squared model 32 bender. You've seen me use this. If you've been following the channel, you've seen me use that a few times. We've had it mounted on this factory JD squared pedestal here out there in the shop, or in the lean tube. Show you real quick. I put like 3 bags. I dug a hole down that's that wide by that wide, and that's got concrete all right there. And then I put me 4 bolts down in there with a steel, or I put a steel plate with 4 bolts down in the concrete. Got 4 bolts running up, and then I got a plate on top of that concrete just to kind of help support it. And that's where I've always used that bender. It's kind of tight out there. It's kind of a hassle to use it. You're always hitting stuff or hitting things. My plans here are to get this bender. I want, instead of having a horizontal bender where you guys have seen me pull the ratchet mechanism to bend the tubing, I want to mount this vertical so that when you bend the tube, rather than the tube swinging out across the floor and hitting everything, the tube's gonna go up towards the ceiling. Also, you can put an actual digital angle finder on the tube to help you get the proper bend that you're looking for. In order to mount it vertically though, you've got to have a power source like a ram or something to that nature. You can't really use the ratcheting mechanism. So I've got this air over hydraulic cylinder here that I'm going to be using. Now I know Swag Off-Road, I know they make a little, like a collar that slides onto that, bolts right up in order to make your bender into a hydraulic bender. I know that. However, that's a little, I don't really want to go that route. I want to try to do something different here. So found that piece of pipe right there. I was going to try to split it in 2 halves, sandwich it into the cylinder there, and basically make like a weight, almost like a weight clamp, so to say, and then put me 2 mounting brackets onto the side. However, I think I've scrapped that idea. So far, I've got some 2x2 square tubing here. It's an 1/8 inch thick metal. I'll try to show you kind of what I'm thinking here. So right there, kind of got it like that, which I mean, obviously those are going to be on top of those like that. The bender will bolt into these holes right here that I have drilled. Right now I've got to go, I'm gonna have to go get a new unibit. I burnt my unibit up on a I believe on the spring smasher when I was drilling through that 1/2 inch metal, and I was trying to get a 5/8 hole on 1/2 inch metal. It jacked my unibit up, so I've tried to resharpen it, but it jacked it up so bad that I just can't sharpen the 5/8 diameter And then of course I don't have a 5/8 drill bit to drill those holes out. So I've got to get those punched out to 3/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna have to go get another unibit. Thankfully it's just a Harbor Freight unibit. It's not the good unibit we got. The good unibit we got only goes to 1/2 inch. So need to punch those out to 3/4. I've got 2 sets of holes drilled here. I want everybody that I have seen do this like a vertical bender, you got to pull just a little bit before you actually set your gauge to 0. So the tubing, instead of setting flat, the tubing sets like this when you're bending it. So if you can see on the first plans are to mount it with these holes right here. That will mount this bender 190 degrees. It'll mount it vertical. But I've got it mounted with these, which these are the factory mounts that JD Squared wants you to use. You can see that plate back there. That's what mounts it onto the pedestal over there. But if I use those, it's going to tilt. Instead of being 90 degrees, it's going to tilt the bender back like that. And you know what? Just talking about that, that ain't going to work, because that's going to make the tubing lean back even further. Oh crap. Alright, scrap that idea. I don't have to drill that middle holes. I can just drill them bottom 2 holes. Anyways, figured something out right there in the middle of the video. So, like I said, my plan is to get that done. I've already got these 2 pieces here cut out. These are going to go right in here, right in this area right here, so to say. Get that right there. Get that into that, like that. Now I hope you guys can see what I'm talking about. The bender's gonna mount up to that right there. Of course, I'll put a diagonal brace running from here down to there to give it some strength. The hydraulic cylinder is gonna be mounted right in here, and it's gonna run back there. I'll fab up 2 plates of steel to bolt it on. It's basically got a round bottom on the bottom of that ram there to bolt to. So we're gonna get that. This is my project here. Like I said, I didn't know if Dallas mentioned this to you or told you or not, but this is what I'm planning on doing. I got a pretty big project where I'm gonna have to bend a lot of tubing here coming up pretty soon. So I got to make this bender a little bit more user-friendly. Not necessarily the fact that the ratchet system, because the ratchet system works great. JD Squared done an awesome job on this bender. But it's just having to have this mounted on a horizontal plane with everything sweeping across the floor. It's a pain. And it's got to be mounted out there because I didn't want to drill holes in my concrete floor in here. So this is the reason I'm trying to get it mounted vertical. Plus I can put wheels underneath this, casters, and I can move this bender wherever I need it to. Like I said, got a big project coming up where I'm gonna have to bend a lot of tubing. If you're over on Patreon, you already know what that project is. I'm not gonna mention it over here on YouTube just yet, but that's what's coming up. We got a big project planned for this winter. That's why we're not really concerned about racing anymore. Kenny Rogers said it best. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them sometimes. In the year that we've had, we just feel like that we best fold them right now, or hold them, I should say, rather than folding them. So we may hit one more race up this coming season. It's not going to be anything far off or anything. It'll be close by the house, possibly the Ice Bowl qualifier at Talladega. I highly doubt we'll be there NASCAR weekend, and NASCAR weekend's usually a weekend where a lot of stuff gets tore up, so that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid going into the off season the way we did last winter and try to be ahead of stuff rather than behind of stuff. So looking forward to this project. I really think you guys are going to enjoy this project too. Like I said, if you haven't joined up on Patreon over there, head over there to Patreon. Link will be in the description below. It'll be at the end of this video. You get all the details over there about this project. I'm excited about it. Dallas is excited. Well, I'm excited about it. Everybody on Patreon seems to be excited about it, and it's something that I've wanted to do for quite a while, and we're gonna make it happen this winter. So head over there, check that out, and if not, stay over here, stay tuned. We appreciate you guys watching. I know this is a short video, but we wanted to get something out to let you guys know we're not racing this weekend. But we will be back in the shop tomorrow, which is Saturday. I will be back out here for just a little bit. We're gonna go meet some friends later in the evening to eat, but I should be able to get a little bit done. I'm gonna run to Tractor Supply first thing in the morning, get some longer bolts, run to Harbor Freight, get a new unit bit, and be back out here, and hopefully I can make some progress and make this thing kind of look like my vision's planning. So you guys check it out, stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.